Hey, how's everybody doing? How are we doing tonight, guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. If you can't see behind me, well, this way, I have a little friend back there on the back of my chair tonight. He's blending in so well, though, that you could barely see him. But if we're lucky, he'll stay for a while. But if you're new to the channel, hi, hello, and welcome. If you're a returning Titan, welcome back. I saw a lot of our regulars in here. I love that. Love that. Didn't even need to do roll call tonight. Everybody showed up, it looks like. But if you are new to the channel, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. I don't prefer one over the other. But we are going to talk a little Idaho tonight. Talk a little Idaho. I should probably like the video myself, you know. And I should probably put the chat on top chat. I appreciate you guys. You guys are always good with the likes. Just trying to get the chat up, the box up a little bit bigger so I can see you guys over this way a little better. There we go. But if you do enjoy the stream tonight, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We do talk true crime here daily, different cases, different days. So just depending on the day. But we'll get to the live here in just a couple minutes. We'll let some people kind of come through. I'll drop the link for the channel membership if anyone wants to join throughout the live. I will drop it into the channel or into the chat if I can remember how to do that. I wish I had one more hand. Just one more. There we go. But welcome on in, everybody. I saw we had a lot of people in here. A lot of regulars. I love it. Love it. Love it. Steve was first again. Hey, everybody. I saw Ashley was in here. Ladybug. Steve. Jan, of course. She's saying hi to everybody. Miss Linda. Hey, Kelly. Good to see everybody. Hey, Cheryl. Did I say hi to you? I did. You were second. You were second. You're usually first, Miss Cheryl. It's cold, isn't it, outside, y'all? It's freezing. Is anybody living anywhere where it's warm right now? And can I come visit? Because because it's freezing here. It's really, 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 really cold. I went to, you already know, Target. I went to Target earlier and I shouldn't have even went. I was like, it's cold. What am I doing out? Hey, Stephanie. Hey, everybody. Hey, Doodlebug. Hey, PKC. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Marianne. Oh, wow. Got a lot of people in here. Hey, Teresa. Got a lot of people. It's 45 degrees in Boston and dropping. Oh, ooh. It's, I forget what it was, actually. It was like the wind with the wind chill. It's like negative it's like 14. I don't know. It's something stupid. Something stupid, crazy. It actually popped up on my location for once. Let's see. Wind chill advisory, and it's 25, but it feels like it's 13. That sounds about right. And it's going to be like, I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. Vincent told me earlier, but it's like, wow. It gets to 70 in San Diego. See, I could do that. Why don't we live? I don't know why we have never moved to California yet. I mean, his mom's out there. We could go out there. Hey, Heels, caught alive. Good to see ya. It's going to be 17 degrees in South Louisiana Tuesday night. Oh my gosh. Is that even like legal to be that cold in Louisiana? South Louisiana? That's freezing. No, freezing. That's freezing. No. No. Yeah, 18 tomorrow in Ohio, Jesse. Yeah, it's going to be cold here tomorrow. It's going to be freaking freezing here tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't mind cold weather, but my body doesn't like the cold weather. The metal is stupid. It is stupid in the winter. I swear. I woke up today and I was like, is it raining, snowing? What's going on? Like, I didn't even have to look out the window. And I was like, I'm like, just you get like that achy feeling. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like the metal's like freezing when you're outside. Like, I don't know, you feel like you're freezing up. You mean 19 there on Monday in Texas? Heels, you better move too. Shoot, everyone's going to be shutting down the pools in Texas. I always talk about how everyone has a pool in Texas. We fly over there to go to California, and I'm like, everybody has a pool in Texas. It's kind of like Florida, I guess. I feel like everyone has a pool in Florida. Well, then we need to go somewhere warm. Where can we do that? Where can we go that's warm? Hey, true crime and other stuff. 11 degrees. Yeah, although I can tell the weather by my body. Yeah, I can. It's weird. Summer, I'm cool. Cool as cucumber. Wintertime or when it's raining, yeah, I just get real. It doesn't hurt. It's not enough to where I'm like, I need me some pain medication. But it's like enough to where it's just like bothersome, like it just takes you a little bit longer to get up and moving. That's what I should say. That's what it is. You're from Ontario too, Marianne? I didn't know that. Oh, Janie, you've had a headache all day. Oh no, my back's been hurting today, but you know what that's from? That's just from me working around the house. We're getting so close, guys. We're getting so close. But we'll go ahead and we'll pull up some documents for Idaho, which there's only one document, so I don't know why I keep saying documents like it's a big thing, but we'll pull them up. Let me go over here to my notes. But yeah, if you guys want to join my second channel, I'll drop the link before we do that. It's going to be a good channel. We're going to be so laid back over there. We're just going to talk about everything. I wanted to actually do a live this weekend, which I still plan on. We have one more day. So I'm thinking about doing this tomorrow. But I got Vincent to do something crazy today, like paint a wall that we weren't even going to paint. So if you guys remember, I'll pull up the documents. Do you remember my old studio? It had this black wall. It's called Thunder Gray Valspar. I don't know. I get up. People ask me all the time. So instead of Thunder Gray for our bedroom, we have an accent wall we're doing, and we're doing it sage. I forget what the color is exactly. But yeah, surprise. Surprise. We're doing a different color. So it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. So I think I'm going to try to do some other stuff in there too, some weird stuff. So we'll see how it works out. But if you have any questions over the Idaho 4 case or any of the cases that we cover on the channel, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them for you guys. We'll answer. Miami's losing. Oh, Cheryl don't like that. So we have been doing a series of videos on the channel to do with Idaho 4. As you guys know, we follow Nancy Grace. We love Nancy. She's actually over here staring at me right now, but I didn't want to bother the cat, so I didn't put her behind me. So she's looking at me. But we've done, what is this, our 4th part? I feel like this should be our 5th part. It's our 4th part. And in part 3, we discussed that we were going over the discussion of the car. So the white Elantra was just put out to us, and because we're going back to the beginning. So this was recorded. Our last one we watched, I believe it was 12/8. So they were just deciding to, they're just putting out the information on the white Hyundai Elantra, and so we're going to go over some more videos tonight. So as some of you guys know from being on the channel, Nancy does half videos, well, I'd say like most videos. She did a lot of videos for Fox Nation, but then she would put some on her podcast. And I almost forgot about to look over on her podcast to make sure we were getting all the videos. And we're right on time. So it's a podcast version tonight. So if we have time, maybe we'll do a podcast and we'll do a video, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Cheryl, you're reading my mind about Jan's husband. I was thinking about that yesterday, actually. I was thinking about him. He's been unusually tired. Oh, maybe it's the weather too. I know I've been tired unusually. There's Cat's Life. Your name will go on the board tonight, Cat's Life. I said I was going to put a board behind me, and anytime anyone's like tardy or absent, put their name on the board. I don't know. I think it'd be funny as hell. I think it'd be so funny. Because because I said last night, I was like, this Cat's Life's always skirting in here. Like, I'm here. And I love that. I love that we know each other that well. Because you guys always know I'm going to be a couple minutes late. No matter what. I'm always like a minute or two late. I'd be sitting here for hours and I would be late. And you guys always know I'm going to not look at my notes like I should. But that's how we roll around here. So this is the newest document that came out of Idaho. I think this came out yesterday, I believe. Jan told me. So it was yesterday, I believe. Yeah. State of Idaho versus Brian C. Kohlberger. Will he ever go to trial is my question. I'm wanting a trial date so bad. But I feel like if we got one, they could just extend it. But let me know if you guys think trial will start in the summer. I'm thinking maybe. So this is public order for disclosure of IgG information. And that has to do with, the DNA and all of that good stuff. So on October 25th, 2023, the court issued an order addressing IgG and DNA, an order for in-camera review, and addressed the state's motion to prevent the disclosure of the investigative genetic genealogy information to the defense and the defense's motion to compel discovery to all information pertaining to the IgG information investigation. On November 30th, 2023, the state submitted to the court in camera all IgG information pertaining to the state's investigation from both the FBI and a private laboratory. And I believe that was when Judge was like, I want to look at all of it. And then he said he would make his decision. The court has now completed its review of the information provided by the state and orders the state to discover to the defense, so hand over to the defense, a portion of the IgG information. Okay, so I wonder what portion that'd be. I wonder how they would get that information. The specific material to be provided is set forth in a sealed order to protect the privacy of the IgG information, including individuals on the family tree. So I'm assuming it's names of the people that they used in order to get to Kohlberger. Like in order to get to his dad, in order to get to him. Just the family tree. Now I wonder how that would work if the investigators are supposed to get rid of that information after I really need to do more of a deep dive into that. But they put it into the information into like the system. Then once they get a match back, they take all that information out of the system and they get rid of it, which is kind of weird. I think that's very weird. I think it's very strange, but they do that. And I think that's why Anne's fighting so hard to get this information, because it's hard, I think, for the prosecution to get, because they have to go through the FBI. Never know. But that's what I was getting out of this. Let me know what you guys were getting out of it. I don't want to read an article over it too, so we're going to all know. We're going to go over to Creme News. Because why do they do that to me? I hate when they do that. Like they'll play the video like as soon as you click on the thing. So So this is just going to go, this is just going to go over, I was going to read this article. It's just going to go over the information we just went over in the document, but it is going to give us a little bit more of a clearer view of what's going on and all that good stuff. If you don't know Crim 2, they've been on the scene and they've been on this case since day one. Day one. That one little guy was standing out there with his little microphone when they thought Brian Kohberger might have went by the house again the next morning. He's the one, this is the news station that was out there. They're required to dispose of it. Yeah, because of privacy laws. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. It's just, they need a data bank for that now. You know what I mean? I mean, not for the, and we can't start with this case. We can't be like, okay, now we're going to start doing things differently. I feel like, I mean, that doesn't make no sense. I mean, but I don't know when you're going to start it because there's always going to be a case. But I don't think that you should start, keeping that information when there's such a high profile case. Like, you can't just like throw it on these people. You know what I mean? You can't just throw it on this prosecutor. I feel like, but maybe they need to have a data bank for that kind of information now, so that if they're like in a situation like this, they can just go and collect all that data and give it to the prosecution and they keep it under seal. That's something that just doesn't ever get out. But that's going to make people not want to opt in for that service anymore. I think that's going to make people not want to, they're going to look at this case and maybe be like, I don't want to do that. Now, me, I don't care either way. If you do something that messed up to where they need my DNA to find you, then you can have it. Then, I guess go ahead and take it. Now, this officer here, I would love to have his job I'll do his whole job through the whole trial for free. He just opens the door for Kohberger and then sits down. And he's on his phone half the time. I love it. I'm like, I could do that. Hey, Ozzy. Right, Grunder. Yeah, exactly. Buccal swab. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I mean, to me, say no more. But I guess they have to show their work somehow. But if they don't ever, if the whole IgG information thing is you put it in, you get your information, you take it out, throw it away kind of deal. They're just going to have to do something in between there. You know what I mean? Instead of throwing it out, they put it into a data bank. Little supercomputer system thing. Yeah, they're getting a lot of stuff, aren't they, Kelly D? Like they got the grand jury stuff. Like, I mean, they're getting a lot. I guess they're not going to be able to say they can. I guess the judge really doesn't want this to come back on appeal. I mean, he's given in to a lot of things. So I'll read this and then we'll listen to this little 20-second clip and then we'll watch the newest Nancy Grace into the investigation part. But it says here, in most recent court proceedings in the Brian Kohberger case, Latah County District Judge John Judge has ordered the state to turn over a portion of investigative genetic genealogy material to the defense. However, because the records are sealed, no one but the two legal teams will know what has been released. After hearing arguments over the materials in the fall, Judge ordered prosecutors to provide him all IgG information from the FBI and a private laboratory related to their investigation. Judge issued in Thursday's January 11th order after reviewing all of the information the state provided. The court has now completed its review of the information provided by the state and orders the state to discover to the defense a portion of the IgG information. It's just a portion of it. So I'm wondering what portion. It's kind of weird. The judge stated in his order from Thursday, can I say that word? Specific material to be provided is set forth in sealed order to protect the privacy of the IgG information, including individuals on the family tree. Kohberger's defense team previously said that it needs the records to determine how investigators did the IgG testing. I mean, can't they Google that? I mean, that's just me being sarcastic. Investigative genetic genealogy combines the fields of forensics, genetics, and genetic and conventional genealogy. I'm going to read that over again. See, that makes better sense to you guys. Investigative genetic genealogy combines the fields of forensic genetics with genetic and conventional genealogy. Kohberger's defense has argued it needs the material to know how the IgG profile was created and how many other people the FBI choose to ignore during their investigation. Like, I mean, I don't understand why they said that. They did say that. Like, what do you mean the FBI choose to ignore them? If they had their DNA, they would probably try to run it through and see if they could find who they were. I would assume that's what I'm assuming that's what they did with the male DNA that they found at the house. Where are we at? Kohlberger's defense has argued it needs the materials to know how the IgG profile was created and how many other people the FBI choose to ignore during their investigation. Prosecutors, however, expressed concerns about the possible public release of identities of family members from those materials, asking for protective orders. In an October 25th order, the judge ruled the defense team showed at least some of that material is essential to building a case. In that order, the judge cited prosecution filings about how the FBI used investigative genetic genealogy to find a lead into who left the DNA on a knife sheath at the crime scene. Now, don't you just work backwards from that? You put it in the system, you get a match for the DNA through, some family member that may have put their DNA into a data bank, and then you just go backwards until you find the person that you need. It says, where were we? The FBI uploaded that DNA profile into public genetic databases according to the filing, then built a family tree of related people. The order shows the FBI also used social media, birth and death certificates, and other public info to build the family tree of people related to the unknown suspect profile. Well, get your name out of don't put your information into the data banks. Don't get on Facebook, no social media. Don't have a death certificate, don't have a birth certificate. I mean, they're going to find you. The IgG process pointed law enforcement towards defendant, but it did not provide law enforcement with substantial evidence of guilt. Prosecutors have argued the FBI didn't directly compare the knife sheath DNA profile to Kohlberger's DNA once he was identified as a suspect, and that the IgG will not be used at trial. During a lengthy August 18th hearing, several genetic genealogy experts testified for the defense as to why this information may be pertinent to the case. Defense attorney Stephen Mercer, one such witness, said the defense must know how the tests were done, if the database searches compiled with guidelines, and what decisions genetic researchers may have made during the investigation. And then Kohlberger's been charged with the unalivings. I'm saying unalivings. Nobody get me in the comment section. Someone got me today for that. I have to say it every once in a while. Like that. Of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kayla Gonzalez. And their off-campus residence referred to as the King Road House on November 13th, 2022. Trial date has not been set. A pre-trial date is set for January 26th. I think that they do maybe happy. And if they don't, I mean, that's pretty powerful combined with the other evidence. You know what I mean? And they're not, the people that are on the stand, they'll want to know, like, they're going to want to, like, DNA, and they're going to want to know that kind of stuff. But they're not going to want to really, they're not going to care how they got it as much. Do you know what I mean? As much as we do. Like, we want to know the whole process. Do you know what I mean? I feel like these people, like, as long as they're shown, like, the DNA was on the knife sheath and this is the person's DNA it's connected to, I think that they will be able to put the pieces together. I'm just reading I was reading that. Oh, I think there's going to be bombshells, in this trial. I really do. I think that there's going to be a lot of them. I really, really, really do. I do. I cannot wait. I just want to hear opening statements. Like, I'll be cool with opening statements. You give me opening statements and I would be cool for a little while. I'll probably be cool for a couple of years. Because you're going to, I mean, like, opening statements that you normally, they kind of give you what they're going to be, like, they give you a little bit of their evidence. They're most powerful, I feel like. I just feel like usually they give very powerful statements in opening statements. So I'm excited to hear that. Let me play this little video here. I think it's just pretty much what I just kind of went over, but we'll listen to it really quick.
And an update now in the Brian Kohlberger case. A judge ordered the state to release a portion of the investigative genealogy records to the defense. The records are sealed, so the public will not know what information is given. Kohberger has been charged in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. You can read all about this right now at ktvb.com.
Wonder who cuts Kohberger's hair at the jail. I wonder if he has somebody that he knows, is there a barber at the jail? No. How does that work? Does anyone know how that works? I'm not sure. Does the defense bring someone in to give him a haircut? I'm wondering that. Because he'd be looking fresh on those sideburns. Those sideburns were freshly cut. Well, at prison barbershop, there's none in jail, Nikki. He's in jail. There's no barber in jail. So I just thought of that. So she has to be bringing somebody in because they give you a razor blade for about 15 minutes in the morning. If you're lucky, it has 2 blades and no soap. And they're like, we want that back in 15 minutes. And they'll make sure they get it back. It's almost perfect. Yeah, it looks nice, Ladybug. Compared to let's just do a comparison real quick. Because that first picture, let me see if I can find it. Now, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm not saying nothing. Let's see if we can get them. We'll get a couple. There we go. And then put them in court. I mean, we were just talking about Delphi last night. You know what I mean? Richard Allen's walking through, barely can walk. I mean, his feet aren't even touching the floor half the time. They're shuffling him across with 50 freaking police officers. And then you got Kohberger. Look at this. These are good pictures. Okay. This is Kohberger coming into court. You see the difference here? Look at this guy. They look like they're about to shake hands. Compared to compared to Richard Allen. Oh, he pulling them eyebrows out or something. He's doing something there. I don't care. I don't care what you tell me, because we're going to start right here. Look at them. It's the hooded type of eyes that he has, or whatever they're called. I'm not sure what those eyes are called, where they're his eyes are set back further, but his eyebrows are his eyebrow bone is thicker. Does that make sense? Do you guys where they're set back more? And I think that makes his eyebrows look that much more prominent. I don't think necessarily he has the bushiest eyebrows on the planet, because Vincent's got some bushy eyebrows. I mean, they look so good on him, but he's got thicker eyebrows. I don't know. Maybe because they weren't touched up or something. They weren't done. I mean, maybe people that are around that age, they do their eyebrows. I don't know. But then you got him here. This is the first picture we got of him. Look at this guy. This guy don't even look like the same person. The confidence. Where the confidence is there. Hello. We got him in a turtle suit here. I'll show it again one more time, because then we got bam. It's night and day. Put a suit on a man, ready to go. He does look like he's kind of like fudge pops. Man. I wonder why they had him sitting down for his picture too. We never got an actual picture of him where he's standing there with the numbers, the height and stuff and all that. We just got this picture. But the confidence is it's not even just the appearance, it's the confidence. You know what I mean? It's just there's more of a confidence. I don't know what that. Give him a good haircut. Yeah, give a man a good haircut and a good suit, or a decent suit, and he's ready to go. Give him 5 of them, like Steve Gonzalez knows. Yeah, he does look skinnier here, doesn't he? That vegan food must be doing good in the jail. But they're not letting Richard Allen do that, true crime and other stuff. That dude's walking in with his, they got him with a bulletproof vest over his jail uniform, walking him in a bright yellow jail uniform. And then they're like shuffling him. They're like picking him up. His feet are dragging on the floor. And there's like 50 cops and they have to take him down like the longest hallway humanly possible. Is it arrogance, Reese? Maybe that's what it is that I'm seeing. That could be. Could definitely be. Could be like thinking I'm getting one over, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to let him wear a suit, at least have him handcuffed. I mean, even Rex Human's handcuffed. I mean, everyone's handcuffed, right? I mean, usually. Isn't that for people's safety? Like, you handcuff them for people's safety? I mean, he's accused of unaliving 4 people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But there was somebody who was that? Somebody was talking about where there are these things that you can wear. I don't know who it was, but they're like a leg brace and they put them on in like inmates or whatever legs. And instead of having shackles where they're like shuffling in and you can hear it and you can see it, it's these leg braces that if you like do some sort of like crazy movement, I guess, like to run, it'll shock you or they'll lock or they do something. I can't remember exactly what they do, but I'm wondering if maybe that's what they have him wearing. Something like that. I don't know. Hey, Case Chaser, welcome in. You think? I don't know. You think he has those thigh braces on, Aldo? That's what I was talking about. Yeah, those. Do you think that so? Are they expensive, though? I mean, Latah County ain't got no money. Yeah, he shouldn't be held in prison. He should be in a jail. I'd be mad if I was him. Guilty or not guilty with Richard Allen, I mean, he should be in a jail. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. You know, like, I mean, man, they're just not doing a very good. I feel like they're not doing Abby and Libby the justice they need. I hope they are in the scene background, but I feel like right now what we're seeing, it's not. Thanks, Jan, for gifting a membership. That's so nice. Thank you. They have shock belts too, Steve? Oh. Really? I feel like there's a brain protruding from his forehead. 70. Yeah, Doodlebug, very good question. I wonder if the defendant in AT's other DP case wears a suit and no handcuffs. It's just weird. The handcuff thing is weird. The handcuff thing is just weird. I mean, nobody can say it's not. That's weird. Now, I don't know if I've seen anything like this since like OJ walking in there like they own the place. It's crazy, Kelly D. I was like, I'm not going down this conspiracy tunnel. And then here we go where I'm like, what is going on for this guy? I mean, it's just, you know, the guy should have a little bit better treatment. He really should. I mean, nobody should be treated like that until they're convicted. Like, I mean, lock him away, throw away the key. Once he's convicted, I want to see him again. I want to hear him again. But if he's not, you know, just crazy. It's just double standard. I just don't see that. It's a big double standard. So, in my opinion. But tonight, this is going to be a podcast version. And then if we have time, maybe we'll play a video. But if not, we'll play it like tomorrow or something. So that way you guys will have the video in too. And this is going to be about the black glove. So get your thinking ears out, because this was recorded on December 12th. And they are going to talk up to Chris McDonough about how he was at the crime scene on Thanksgiving, which, I mean, to each their own, I guess. There's a million other things I'd rather be doing on Thanksgiving than doing that. But he was at the crime scene and he found a glove, like a black glove outside of the perimeter. It was like right outside of the, I believe it was right outside of the tape or right inside the tape. And they're going to remind us on this tonight. See, that's why it's good to go back. But he did find it on Thanksgiving. Just remember to listen for that part. And if I hear it, I'll make sure I pause it. That way you guys will hear it, because the officers that found the glove that they were looking for, or that they found, they weren't looking for it, but they found, this was a different glove, because the glove that the officers found was on November 20th. Chris McDonough found his glove a few days later on Thanksgiving. So just want to let you guys know that. If you're just now joining us, hi, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. We are getting ready to watch the Nancy Grace. This is a podcast version, so I'm going to put pictures and stuff up. That way you guys will have stuff to look at. Hey, Alvamos. That way, you have like something better to look at than just Nancy's picture. But they're going to be talking about the black glove that was found at the crime scene that Chris McDonough found on Thanksgiving. So let's just see. And she said that she did find, I remember her saying, she might actually say it in this episode. This might be the episode she says it in, because it was an Idaho episode. And she said that she found Chris McDonough because she was trolling YouTube looking for content from the Idaho case. So Nancy, if you're listening, I'm ready for my close-up. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Dreamcatcher. Hey, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so I think I have this where it's going to play. It is a little loud when it first comes on because I don't have control over the volume. So just a warning. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and the channel. We love you here.
Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. After 4 students slaughtered in their beds in Idaho on the edge of campus, police are releasing body cam footage that occurred the night of the murders. Why now? This, as we learn, the elected coroner assigned to the quadruple murder, who is also a defense lawyer, also represents a killer. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. First of all, take a listen to this.
For the first time, detectives in Idaho are releasing body camera footage, hoping it can provide new leads in the case of those 4 murdered college students.
Moscow 77.
The videos show officers on patrol in Moscow, Idaho, in the early morning hours of November 13th, around the time investigators believe Zainer Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves were killed in a home near the University of Idaho.
Taking out 21. Yeah.
In one video, officers are seen issuing citations to 3 teens for underage drinking. An apartment complex across the street from the victim's home is visible, just steps away from the officers. Investigators say the people in the videos have been cleared, and the incidents have nothing to do with the murders.
Do you think that if the cops would have just kept that to their self and not released that videotape, that body cam, maybe a lot of the rumors wouldn't have started? Because, man, the rumors were going.
As you were just hearing from our friends at ABC, body cam footage has been released. Detectives in Idaho releasing body cam footage, hoping it can provide new leads. With me, an all-star panel, but first to Dave Mack, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Dave Mack, I'm just curious about the timing of the release of the body cam footage, but more important, the footage shows Moscow police on patrol in the early morning hours of November 13, around the time of the murders. And in one of the videos, we see officers giving citations to 3 teens for underage drinking. An apartment complex across the street from the victim's home is visible. Now, tell me the significance of that, Dave Mack.
It actually sets the entire scene for what was taking place at the moment we believe the murders took place. It shows the police, as you mentioned, they're right near the apartment complex that is near the house. You can see the whole area. You can see the cars. You can see anything that was going on. So again, setting the table for what was taking place in the moment we believe the murders took place.
Guys, over the past 48 hours, I have watched one particular video over and over and over. I'd stop it. I'd try to reverse it. I'd watch each segment over and over. And I've got to tell you where I found it. I found it at a podcast, but there is video to go with it. It's called The Interview Room. And I got to tell you something.
Oh yeah, here she's gonna say it.
Watching the podcast, and you'll see why, not just listening to it, but watching it. And you can get it on your iPad, your iPhone, The Interview Room. I'll tell you why it was so significant to me. The words I was hearing as I watched it helped me a lot too. But what I saw was, well, Cheryl McCollum, this is why I never tried a case without going to the crime scene first. Okay. Cheryl McCollum with me right now is a guy named Chris McDonough. Now, he was a director at a cold case foundation, former homicide detective. That's coldcasefoundation.org. As I said, former homicide, worked over 300 homicides over 25 years, and he is host of this podcast called The Interview Room. And what I saw is this. He, and I think it's your wife, Chris McDonough, but a lady that you keep calling honey. Apparently the two of you were in a car, but somebody was in a car and it slowly eased through town. It looked a lot like where I grew up, Chris McDonough. Not even in a city, outside a little city, Macon, Georgia. It was little at the time. There's snow everywhere in this video, and you're riding along, and you see everything, and the guy, and I think that's you, Chris McDonough, is talking over it, and he is telling you everything you're seeing as you drive through Moscow, Idaho. You get to a gas station. He's telling you this is this, that's that. And at that gas station, I think that there's going to be video security cam. You turn left and start climbing up a hill. And then you realize exactly what McDonough says. You got to know where you're going to get to 1122 King, the murder house. You go weave all up in there, and you see houses all around it, very similar to the murder house. You see the apartment complex. Guys, I could throw a baseball from the apartment complex to the murder house. McDonough takes you up this little ridge, and guess where you end up? You're right there behind the murder house where many of us believe the killer had been looking down. I mean, it's right there. It's amazing. Chris McDonough, welcome. Now, you just heard Dave Mack, Chris McDonough, describing the relevance of this body cam footage. Explain to us, where is that footage in relation to 1122 King, the murder house?
So that path, there's a path, Nancy, directly to the front door of that residence from where that footage was being filmed that evening from the body camera.
You mean in the woods behind the house, there's a path going up to the door?
No, if we take the body camera footage that evening from the police officers on the alcohol contact, if you cross that street, it goes directly to the front door of that house.
Wait a minute. Chris McDonough. Wow. As if your drive along wasn't enough. Did you hear that, Dave Mack? Cheryl McCollum, did you hear that? Where this body cam footage is. You cross the street and you're at the crime scene with me, Cheryl McCollum, forensic expert, founder of Cold Case Research Institute. Chris, Cheryl and I fought in the trenches together when I was a prosecutor. She's a forensic expert. You can find her at coldcasecrimes.org. Cheryl, why is this so important that everybody look at this drive along?
Well, I think you cannot overstate the importance to visit the crime scene. You and I have talked about that before. Where this house is, where this path is, where these woods are. You're talking about a watch area of the perpetrator. And these, young people might have been stalked for an hour and a half. They might have been stalked for 2 weeks. But if you remember, days and weeks after the murders, law enforcement returned to that area, and you can see them even squatting down and walking through that wooded area. They're not collecting anything. They're literally looking at this watch area to see where this perpetrator might have come and hung out for quite some time.
Dr. Bethany Marshall with me, psychoanalyst joining us out of Beverly Hills at drbethanymarshall.com. She's a star in Bling Empire and more. Dr. Bethany, I want you to hear what Chris McDonough and Cheryl McCollum are saying, how just on top of the quadruple murder, and we're going to go to Dr. Priya Banerjee on that in just a second. She is assistant medical examiner and forensic pathologist. On top of that, you've got the possibility that someone was sitting back on that area, right? It's almost butts into the back of the murder house, watching them. And I've tried to show this picture a million times, Dr. Bethany. It's a picture taken from inside the Sigma Chi house.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see Ethan sitting there. But that's not the point. The point is you look out the window, you look right at the murder house.
Nancy.
Layer on top of it, somebody sitting there watching them all this time.
I know, Nancy. And just like you were watching the video, I was looking at the photos of these beautiful young people. They are so attractive, young, at the prime of their life. And there are quite a few photos of all four of the victims together. So you amalgamate that information with somebody who had clear visual access to this home. And in my mind, it begins to tell me a little bit about the motive of the perpetrator, not just to attack one individual and then the others are in their way, but somebody who is attracted to a group of people who love each other, who are getting along. I haven't heard anybody else comment on this, but think about it.
I don't know if I buy into that. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Let me throw that to Chris McDonough, everybody, former homicide detective. It's hard for me to imagine a killer wanting to murder a whole group. Now, you've done so many homicides, and everybody remember, this is Crime Stories. This ain't high tea at Windsor Castle. Jump in for Pete's sake. But Chris, unless it's a family situation, especially which we have a lot at Christmas where everybody gets crazy and goes in with a flamethrower and just blows the whole place up. Unless you're going for a whole family, I find that really hard to believe that you are targeting 4 people.
Yeah, 100% agree, Nancy, because I mean, that's why this is such the magnitude that it is. One interesting point, though, to your discussion a minute ago was, this is one way in, one way out. But what I thought was interesting.
Oh, wait. One way in, one way out.
Yes.
Hold the thought, Chris, because I want to circle back with anybody on the panel about why cell phone tower data may be important and why this white Elantra is so important they're looking for. Because who the hey, Jackie, is going to be driving out of a one way in, one way out? I described it as almost a cul-de-sac. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, who is that person that's hightailing it, skidding out? And in your video, Chris, it really hit me, the thick snow. Like Chris was trying to walk down in some leaves to give you a good vantage point. He's going to slip. So he's kind of like creeping along in the video. So I want to circle back on that, Jack. So don't let me forget. Go ahead, Chris.
And so what's interesting is the night of the alcohol contact, right, that evening, that officer was in a plainclothes, situation. So you have to ask yourself, what did he see prior to the homicides? If he spotted the juveniles drinking alcohol, he obviously was set up in a surveillance situation. So if a vehicle or somebody was walking, did that officer have, visual contact with that potential suspect, even, approaching the home? So it actually strengthened the back of the house as a potential, place where this individual would hang out.
Welcome in, everybody. If you're just now joining us, we are listening to the Nancy Grace episode. It is our part 4. This one is a podcast episode. Most of them are on Fox Nation through Fox Nation app, but this one is through her Apple podcast. So I'm just putting some pictures up, overlays. That way you have something to watch as you're watching this. I really need, Lori, she said Nancy Grace can make me giggle sometimes with her drama. Not a bad thing, though. I really want a shirt, like a shirt press. I have to get one. I'm going to have to get one because I can make some really good shirts. Like a shirt that says "This ain't high tea at Windsor Castle." Like, hello, I would wear that all the time. And then if you guys would want to wear one, I could send you one or something. That could be fun. Because like every case does have something that's kind of like, I think that it's just part of, people being human. Like they kind of have to laugh at some things when it makes them feel uncomfortable. So out of every case, there's always something. There's always a saying or someone does something. I mean, in every case. So I need that. And I want her cup, the I Love Manatees cup. So I'm going to fast forward through the commercial here. If you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, we're trying to get up to 100 likes. If we could do that, that'd be really cool.
There's no better time. $1 million protect artificial ingredients. An arrow shows doctors and patients.
You saw the over.
I'll go back a little bit.
Crime story.
Sorry, I want to tell you guys the picture. So the picture that's up here right now, if you're like, what are we looking at? It's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can find a better picture. I think they're both really bad. But if you see where the red arrow is, this is the black glove that Chris McDonough found on the ground on Thanksgiving in Idaho when he was cruising around the crime scene. Just browsing, I guess. Trying to find out the route and stuff, like the layout. But if you can see it, it's just right there. Also, if you can see around it, you'll see that there is a boot print and it almost looks like it slides. And I think that maybe the officer was going to he was looking for it when Chris was talking to him and then he almost stepped on it maybe because it looks like he was stepping real close to that glove unless he was just right up on it. Could have been too if to take pictures or something.
With Nancy Grace. I don't think I noticed in your video, Chris McDonough, you saw the overlapping crime scene tape, and it looked like Cheryl McCollum, as Chris points out in his video on the Interview Room podcast. I think I found it on YouTube. Cheryl, number one, you cannot minimize the importance of going to a crime scene. You can't try a case unless you've seen the scene. I've had defense witnesses tell me what they saw that night. And then because I'd been to the scene, I could say, well, wait a minute. Isn't there a huge 6 foot tall, thick hedge between where you were and where the dope deal went down? And then they're like, but what? Huh? Okay. Yeah. That's why you have to see it. Now, what are you making of what Chris McDonough just told us?
Well, I think the most important thing that he's pointed out is the one way in, one way out. Most killers do not box themselves in. So if they're just driving around randomly looking for somebody to harm, they're not going to put themselves in a situation where they are trapped. They're not going to do it. They're going to make sure that they've got an escape route forward, backwards, and sideways. This person did not do that here. And to me, that is critical.
Joining me, Irv Brandt, Senior Inspector, U.S. Marshal Service, also DOJ, author of Solo Shot, Curse of the Blue Stone. It's on Amazon come February. Also, Flying Solo. Wow. Irv Brandt, how do you have time to do everything that you do, all your books? Question to you, if this guy was undercover, he probably would not have had a body cam, a shoulder cam on.
No, that's correct. I mean, and until he's coming into contact with the people that he wants to interview, is when he would turn on the body camera. So the events leading up to him making contact probably wouldn't have been recorded because he'd had no reason to turn that body cam on.
Yeah, and Robert Crispin joining me, PI, former federal task force, DEA in Miami, never like a business there. Specialty, homicide and crimes on children.
Just to talk about the glove for a minute, I do think that it looks like a worker's glove. I saw that someone put in the chat, they thought it looked like a trash. Yeah, PKC, whenever like to a garbage guy. That's what I thought it is. You can see the trash can in the picture right there also. It looks like, I don't know how to explain, like a worker's glove. Yeah, like a black worker's glove, gardening kind of glove, type of glove. Because I've seen better pictures. And I'm going to try to find a better picture for you guys. This one's real terrible. But of course, it's really hard to get pictures on the computer for some reason. They're all like, I don't know, like locked. Maybe, but would law enforcement discard a glove on the ground like that? Like they meant to hit the trash can? Because I mean, the trash can lids are closed. They stay closed. So it's not like he was like trying to make it in and he missed. I mean, he shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be doing that though, you know. Probably left the glove as a shout out to OJ. That's probably what it is. It's probably a really small kid's glove. Put that on my hand. If it don't fit, you must have quit. Oh gosh, there's going to be a saying like this in this case, I bet. I think this is like one of the biggest cases for this set of generation. Like, I don't know, like Casey Anthony was huge too, though. I think that was really big.
You can find him at crispinvestigations.com. Thank God at some point he did turn on the body cam. It should give us a view or somewhat of a view of what was happening around the murder scene.
Hey, Nance, can I jump in for a second?
Okay, jump in, Bethany. Sorry, Crispin. Go ahead, Bethany.
I'm so sorry. I just disagree with the group about a couple of things. And I am not
Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Unless it's about body cam, hold it.
I'll hold it.
Hold on. Crispin, finish the thought on body cam.
So the issue with the body cams is it's HD quality video. And I'm sure that they've gone back and they've probably pulled a lot more than just his body cam. Because in the background, as you saw in the ones that they've released, you see some other cars parked there. You see some other things that are going around. So it's kind of giving us more of a sketch of the crime scene area. And with the technology.
I mean, hey, maybe it was Kohlberger's. He is known to sort trash and wear gloves. So maybe he's out there sorting the trash for him. JK, I'm just kidding.
Technology today, and you spoke about those cell phone towers, which we can talk about later, you know, and the timing that this happened, and I'll explain it when you're ready. That is going to be the technology that's going to assist law enforcement in making an apprehension in this case.
Now, Jackie has held up a sign, and it said the roads look more like alleys than roads. I think that may be because they're covered in snow, and by the time people have driven over them, they look like muddy tracks in snow. What about it, Chris McDonough? Think about the snow factor here. And, oh, everybody in your mind, think about where are they getting the chip on the white Hyundai Elantra? And how could it get through that snow? Chris McDonough, I couldn't really tell.
It wasn't snowing
up
that
a
night.
road?
Or go backwards. It didn't snow. What's she talk about? Why is Nancy talking about snow? This snow right here that I'm showing you, this happened like week after, a few days after. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jeff. I think I remember seeing that actually. But yeah, let me get you guys a picture real quick. Hold on a second. Like, this is craziness. There was like a little bit of like snow left over from like a previous snow, and like where there was shadows and stuff. Let me see if I can find. There's actually like a picture I'm thinking of in my head. I think it was this one right here. So this is the picture of whenever they were, I want to make sure this is the right one. Okay. This is the picture I'm looking for. November 13th. And this was posted at 3:53 p.m. from Idaho News 6. Like there wasn't snow. Like there was no like. Oh, wait, I'm not showing you guys because I have the thing up, the banner up. Sorry about that. Like this is from that day. There wasn't snow. Like there was old snow. Do you know what I mean? Like you could see it like right here in the corner, but like that's trash back there. I think there's a little pile of snow there, but I think the rest is just trash. Oh, sorry, Cheryl. Cheryl's eating and I'm talking about trash. Huh? Oh, auto 100%. That OJ. Thank you for gifting a membership, Jan. That's so nice. Who the heck got it? Oh, Frenchie. I'm like, I didn't see the name. I was like, who the heck got it? Welcome on in, Frenchie. Am I somebody? Hey, Betsy. Oh, you changed your name. It scared me. Okay. Oh, I got you. I got you, though. I got you. It was for July. Yeah. It was cold that night. It was 20. I think it was 28 degrees like that night. But yeah, it was just real cold. It wasn't snowing. Sorry, I was reading the chat and then I got a little lost. So we'll go back over to the podcast now. And I'll put up another picture for you guys.
Once you get up where the house is, are those actual roads? Are they paths? What are they? They're covered in snow.
Yeah. So when you turn up that the main street,
find one,
on King Street, if you follow it straight up, Nancy, it goes up and around that apartment complex, and it brings you behind the Target house.
Yeah, there's a big parking lot behind
and
the murder
going
house.
up that.
If you're in that parking lot, can you look
this
down at
from
the
that
murder
day
house?
too?
Yes, 100%, and that's why it was so interesting to be back there, because just even getting up into that area, I had a truck and I had to put it into 4-wheel drive to get up that hill because of the ice. To your point,
Jack, you look up if a Hyundai Elantra, let's just go with 2013, has 4-wheel drive, because I don't think it does. But that said, all right, so there's your answer to the roads. Guys, not only is this body cam footage just been released, what can it tell us? We have to review the whole thing, but in the middle of all this, another bomb is dropped. We now have a neighbor stating they heard a woman scream, but thought nothing of it. Take a listen to our friends at Inside Edition.
And now a neighbor who lives near the house says he heard a woman screaming the night of the murders. 30-year-old Enon Harsh, a chef, says he thinks he heard the scream at around 4 a.m., but he quickly dismissed it as noise coming from a party. I didn't think anything of it. After what happened, I've definitely had second thoughts. Maybe it was not a party sound.
4 a.m. He says around 4 a.m. And, Cheryl McCollum, anything can start a timeline. It could be a broken watch on a murder victim's hand that cracked, and you see what time that happened. It could be the dog in the Nicole Brown, Ron Goldman double murder at the hands of O.J. Simpson, where the dog Akita lets out this, as the neighbor says, mournful wail. And here we've got a 4 a.m., about 4 a.m. scream. Cheryl?
Well, Nancy, you and I have done a whole lot together on cases, and I am a firm believer in knocking on doors. This man should have been found day 1, day 2. They should canvass again. They should go door to door here. Door to door is going to answer things video can't, quite frankly, just like the ear witness. Video ain't going to give you that. So to me, who has moved away? Who didn't come back from Thanksgiving break? Who appears nervous? Who drives a similar car? They got to get boots on the ground and go door to door.
Truth. Be in the moment.
Integrates the free market system with a.
That's why he makes sure.
It. That's just
Murders of 4 beautiful. I'm Stories with Nancy Grace. Guys, we're talking about the most recent updates in the last 72 hours in the investigation into the murders of 4 beautiful young University of Idaho students. Chris McDonough, you have been all over the scene. What do you make of what this new ear witness is saying? I'm trying to figure out where he lives in relation to the house. He's a chef. He says he hears a scream at 4 a.m.
Well, you have to ask yourself, first of all, to the last point is, good old fashioned police work, ringing doorbells was, needed. And it still is. I 100% agree. But, if this is in fact is the case, then you can do some forensic analysis in relationship to audio. You can bring in some folks, to measure off sound, how far it travels at 4 a.m. and see if that's even a possibility. But that box needs to be checked now that this witness has come forward, just to verify the validity of, that potential. And so the fact that the individual, in my opinion, wasn't discovered immediately, then you have to ask yourself, well, what's going on in that individual? Why they didn't come forward earlier. And so then you have to, go down.
Oh,
Can I make a comment about that?
Yeah, jump.
I heard somebody screaming in my neighborhood a couple months ago. It was about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I heard it. My husband didn't, and we talked about it for about 3 days. Did you hear something? Did you not? Should we have called the police? It ended up being our next door neighbor had a schizophrenic niece he had taken in who ended up attacking him in the middle of the night. But we debated for a few days, and my husband's a judge, and we should have just called 911 right away. So it doesn't matter how educated you are, how smart you are. Witnesses doubt themselves. This is why child abuse is so vastly underreported. So I would wonder who in this neighborhood also knows something, but they don't want to get somebody in trouble who may not be, a primary accessory to the crime.
It's interesting, Dr. Bethany, I agree with you. I always call 911. I don't even think it through because I know how critical it could turn out to be. What's interesting about this scream, the chef neighbor hears, it's closer to 4 a.m. Now, if we start the timeline there, let's just go out on the ledge and we start the timeline there, that could include or remove the validity of the white Hyundai Elantra, which, by the way, Jackie is saying does not have a 4-wheel drive. So could it get up the hills that Chris McDonough is showing us in his video in the interview room? Could it? What if it was parked in that parking lot behind the house? Could it have gone down the hills if it was already there? That's just something.
Hey, Nancy,
yeah, jump.
One other quick thing is, when does the sun come up? When does the sun come up there? Because that's part of your timeline too, is whoever was watching this group.
That's really good. Hey, Jackie or Sydney, just look up, you can do in Farmer's Almanac, what time was the sunrise on that day in Moscow? I'm going to get that, Dr. Bethany. I always look up the weather at the time of an incident. Dr. Priya Banerjee joining me, forensic pathologist. You can find her at Anchor Forensic Pathology. Dr. Banerjee, we believe that the 4 murders by knife occurred between 3 and 4 a.m. The police didn't get there until noon for a lot of different reasons. Question to you. I know it's a science. I know it's an art determining TOD, time of death. But regarding blood, what condition would the blood have been, okay, if they had been killed at, say, 4 a.m., at 12, would it have all been coagulated? Would it have all been dried? And then we got to think about, how do you collect dried versus coagulated versus fresh blood? But how can you look at a dead body, dead by knife stabbing, and tell me TOD?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have so many thoughts on this case, regarding even crime scene stuff. I'll come back to it. But to answer this question, it is an approximation. But I think if you work backwards, like I always used to go to a crime scene. So I'm with you, Nancy. I like to see the body at the scene, sort of understand the environment in which the crime, occurred, because that also plays into, did the person fight back? Or here we have multiple, individuals. Did they fight back? Who might have come first or second, third, fourth? But, blood is it's a fluid, but then it'll coagulate and dry. It really depends on if it's near an air vent, is the heat on, how much blood is pooled. I mean, so it's hard for me to say, but as time goes on, obviously you're going to have sort of crust forming, dried blood. And so all of that's important, but not just whether it's coagulated, but the pattern, right? If someone's dripping blood from person to person, the knife is dirty, slippery, the blood spatter pattern. And I mean, there's, other experts on this call that are, detectives that really deal with that, all of that's so critical. And that's why I like to go, because you really get a feel for the movement of people within the
You're
scene.
so right. And based on what Dr. Priya Banerjee is saying, forensic pathologist, I think that they can absolutely tell which 2 victims were killed first, because their blood is going to be on the other floor.
Exactly.
As victim 3 and 4. Guys, in the middle of all of this, we've got the elected coroner. She's not a medical examiner. She's not an MD. It's a huge problem. guys, she is now this female coroner.
Nancy don't like Miss Mabbott, I guess we're gonna hear. But if you guys are not aware of who Enan Harsh is, before everyone goes, oh my gosh, somebody heard a scream that night. Enan Harsh came forward after this happened. He had put on his Facebook that, you know, he didn't hear, that he was home all night and he didn't hear anything. And then he edited his Facebook post to say that he had heard a scream. So that got him a lot of, like, you know, clout, and people wanted to know, like, who he was. How did he know the, you know, Idaho 4 victims? Because we didn't have any information at this time. This right here was recorded on December the 8th, 2022. So this would have been not even a whole full month after the homicides. So this guy comes forward and does that. Well, sleuths of the internet, they go in and they look at his details, and there's a way that you can see if someone's edited a post by, like, their details, and you could see what they post was prior and, like, what they edited it to say. And someone debunked that in, like, a matter of minutes. But I was like, dang. But yeah, he was out there for a minute. He was on, like, another live. I saw him one night, and he was on, like, a dating game. Who wants to, I mean, I don't know what the dating game was called. Like, who wants to date Enan Harsh? I guess, but I don't know. Good Lordy. I'm cool on that. Anybody that would lie and said that they heard something that they obviously didn't hear, I don't know. You have to be some sort of, that's gotta be twisted.
Sid, I looked it up like 10 times. Her degree, the coroner, is in, I want to say, political science or art history or psychology. No offense, Dr. Bethany, but you've got to hear this. I'm going to break out of our order, Jackie. Go to cut 152, our friends at Crime Online.
The coroner who ruled 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death is also a defense attorney who is now representing a convicted killer who was just arrested a mile away from the murder house for stalking his wife around the house with a knife. The Latah County coroner, Kathy Mabott, and her office, Mabott Law, are representing 39-year-old ex-convict James Curtis Leonard of Moscow, Idaho. He allegedly assaulted his wife and her daughter and slashed himself with a knife. Leonard was arrested last week just a mile from the scene where 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death on November 13th.
Okay, Dave Mack. Let me try to understand what I just heard from you. Major issue. The coroner, who is not a medical doctor, who is not the medical examiner. Thank you, Jackie. She majored in political science. And she is the one that went out on TV, which my boss, Mr. Slayton, always said, don't speak to the press. Don't do it. If your jury hears it, they'll be thrown off the jury.
That's the guy they were talking about.
The pettit jury. She's representing a convicted killer. Okay, who did the guy kill, Dave Mack?
Well, he actually pled guilty to manslaughter charge in 2007. It was I think he was saying it was self-defense. He got into a fight and killed a guy. But here's the thing, Nancy.
Yeah.
You know, he was sentenced to like 15 years or whatever, but he ended up getting a suspended sentence. He spent a couple months in jail. That was it, and got out. And then, but again, he is still a convicted killer. And
he assaulted his wife and daughter and then slashed himself with a knife.
He chased them around. He actually, you know, the girl is 15 years old. He slammed her so hard while he's chasing his wife that she showed signs of a concussion, was hiding under a table when police got there.
And he's arrested last week, 1 mile from the scene where the 4 University Idaho students were stabbed dead. Okay, Dr. Priya Banerjee, why do we have a coroner who's not a medical examiner spouting off on TV about the murders? She's a political science major. She got her law degree. She's representing a convicted killer.
Now, I'm wondering about that. Like, maybe because it's a smaller town, they don't have like an actual, is it pathologist? Let's see. I want to say the word right, but Isn't that who does that? Like, you have to have like a pathology degree. Yeah, well, they're responsible for analyzing bodily fluids, tissue samples, conducting laboratory testing, cooperating with doctors, diagnosing illnesses. Maybe not. But yeah, so I think that with it being a small town, they don't have a lot of homicides. So maybe that's the reason for it. I'm really not sure. That's a good question. Who the hell gets voted into the position? That's like me putting my name on the ballot. And I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and applied science. What can we do with that? Can I be the coroner now of Latah County? Yeah, you'd think the coroner would at least be an MD. At least, yeah. I would be feeling some type of weird and strange. I guess I wouldn't be feeling anything because I would be dead. But if that was me, or that was someone like in my family, I would be raising all kinds of hell. I'd be like, you need to get someone here that's certified. But then again, you don't know that at the time. Yeah, elected official where you're at too. Maybe it's because it's just small town. Hadn't seen a murder in a while. Weird.
At the same time, she's talking about,
especially like maybe they should have called someone in from another town or another, like, I mean, I know maybe the jurisdiction is a thing, like that's, you can't, but you would think you'd have somebody that knows their shit for something like this. You'd have someone come in there that knows exactly what they're doing. And we can all tell by the interviews that Kathy Mabbitt did. She shouldn't have been talking.
A murder case.
I know. Conflict of interest. So coroner is that. It's an elected official. So she, got her way into the position. It's a paid political position. And now she's out there trying to represent herself in the media. I think it's malpractice to talk. I mean, the ethics are just crazy. But even to talk about an ongoing murder investigation and release all these details when there's no potential suspects really nailed down, I think it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how the bar hasn't come down on her for that.
Yeah, I don't wish the bar getting up anybody's tailpipe, but in this case, there's a big problem. And if anybody is ever brought to trial, we're going to have more problems on that. We got another problem, guys, as if you didn't already know that in the investigation. No fault of the police, okay? So just get off their tail for a moment. It's about the food truck guy. As many people say, the hoodie guy. If you could just refresh everyone's recollection, Cheryl McCollum joining me from the Cold Case Research Institute. Who's the hoodie guy?
He's a guy in the background when you see Kaylee and Maddie. They're ordering food. They're talking to some friends. He's in the background. He's not talking to anybody. He's not ordering food. He puts his hood up. He puts a baseball cap on. He's kind of trying to shield his face. When they leave, he leaves. And so he's just very suspicious. And I believe Kaylee's sister is the one that found the video in the first place. So it didn't look right to her either.
Chris McDonough joining me, director at the Cold Case Foundation. I found him in his podcast, The Interview Room. Chris McDonough, where were the food trucks as they relate to 1122 King, the murder scene?
They were downtown at 313 North Main. So it's about, just under 3 miles from the residence where Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan were. Okay, now, according to police and anybody, Crispin, Brandt, McCollum, Marshall, McDonough, Mack, jump in if you have anything that could help us on this guy. We have been told, and I don't know that I believe this, that the food truck guy, the hoodie guy, has left the country. Okay, I don't believe in coincidences, but take a listen to our cut 148. Our friend Les Trent.
You're looking at enhanced video of the confrontation between two of the University of Idaho murder victims and another student at a food truck. The time, 1:30 a.m., just hours before the murders. Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan stopped for mac and cheese after partying at a nearby bar.
Everybody seemed like in good spirits, nothing seemed off. And then they start interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says.
Okay, so you hear her saying F you. Why is this
You assassin.
significant? Take a listen to our cut 149, our friends at Inside Edition.
Police have already announced they have cleared the young man in the hoodie. Audio engineer Anthony Nelson enhanced the audio for Inside Edition.
What do you hear in that instant?
She says, you.
So, was there an argument? If so, what was it about? Kaylee's parents say, in their opinion, some of the individuals have been cleared too prematurely.
Now, according to some reports, the so-called hoodie guy was kicked out of fraternity and has left the country. We don't know if that's true or not. But as you all know, evidence of flight leaving the scene of a crime can be, evaluated by a jury. But yet police, do they not, Dave Max, say they cleared this guy? And you hear the parents stating some individuals have been cleared too prematurely. What do we know about this guy?
Nancy, we know they cleared him really early. I mean, this was something that as soon as that video came out, they were like within 24 hours saying they'd already talked to everybody there in the video, and that, the hoodie guy that had drawn everyone's attention was cleared. That's what we know about him. All the other information that we could possibly gain about the hoodie guy is just that. It's just a rumor of hoodie guy. We don't really know who he is, what fraternity he was supposed to be a part of, whether he had been kicked out or left the country.
I would not equate getting kicked out of a fraternity with wrongdoing. You can get kicked out of fraternity for not paying your dues. Okay? So that is irrelevant to me. Him leaving town quickly.
I will say,
jump in.
Well, I will say if this is a serial killer that killed these 4 young university students, they're not the brightest bulbs. And when we talk about them as if they are like, one way in, one way out, surveilling the property. But often serial killers have something called scoptophilia. That is a perversion with looking, hunting, like hunting, pecking, gathering. They really fixate on one people or a group of people, and they begin to fuel their sexual and their sadistic fantasies through looking. So I would think that somebody who is that perverse and is that preoccupied with killing is not going to rise to the level of being in a fraternity. They're really not. They're going to be in a very low wage menial job. And that's really where I began looking as the police.
Well, I hear your reasoning, Dr. Bethany, but let's not forget Ted Bundy was very likable.
That's true.
Was a law student. I mean, you've got the outliers like BTK, Bind, Torture, Kill, who was a dog catcher. But he also, I think, wasn't he a deacon at his church? He had a wife and children. I don't know. I think they assimilate. Chris McDonough, what, if anything, do we know about the food truck guy?
I don't think we know a whole bunch about him, Nancy. I think the PD early on, when the rumors started swirling around him, I'm assuming they contacted him right away. And I think, proper protocol would have been grab a swab pretty quickly. And then, through rapid DNA, they may have eliminated him through that process. And that's why they came out so quickly and said, hey, this guy's out of the circle. And that's about all I know about him. The interesting thing, going back to the crime scene for a moment, is in the back of the house, there is like a cinder block. There are a couple out front, but there's one back by a back window.
That's been
where,
there since August.
If you think about the house where it's 5 women, college students who are staying there, and there's this block that's underneath the window next to the window that has the screen off of it. And when I was standing back there, immediately what came to my mind, through past experience was, do we have a voyeur here somewhere? And has that fantasy been building? And then, he executed these targets as a result of what he's been, thinking about for so long, i.e., BTK, Dennis Rader. Is that in play here? And that was one of the thoughts that I think should be, considered as we look closely at that crime scene from the exterior in, not from the interior out.
Chris McDonough, you said a cinder block was below one of the windows that you saw without a screen. Was the cinder block in a position that someone could have stepped on it and gone in the window?
Yeah. Or they could, well, not necessarily use it as a tool to get into the window, but necessarily, as a seat, or to use it to look around the blinds and that type of stuff.
Was it in a position they could have used it to boost in, or was it further away?
No, it's up against the building, and you can see it in the video. And
wow,
it didn't look right.
That was
let
there
me
in August.
put it to you that way.
Okay, because I had a cinder block right outside my dorm room, so I wouldn't have to walk all the way through the lobby because it was a long walk to get out of my dorm. I just go out the window on the cinder block. Don't tell anybody at Valdosta State. But that said, I think I heard, who was that jumping in? Was that you, Cheryl, or Dr. Bethany?
Well, I was jumping in about the idea about this perpetrator being a voyeur. That's what I was trying to say about scopophilia, and why I mentioned earlier that these were 4 beautiful young people who had so many pictures of themselves. I mean, these were young people who were relating to each other, engaging with each other, going out and partying, and then meeting late at night and having food together. And I think there may have been something not just about the individual victims, but the interrelatedness between all of them that was attractive.
Got it. You think you targeted all 4, I understand.
I'd like to jump in about something
Go.
that I often practice as a medical examiner, which is when I go to the scene, we're all human, right? So we have to notice what doesn't fit, i.e. the cinder block. Like, why is it there? I think these are like big questions that I have. And my understanding is the back of the house, that parking lot.
Hey,
was
Nancy,
really cool.
I'm going to drive you crazy, but I'm going to mention the dog again. That dog was put in the bedroom that was no longer being used. Who would know that unless it was somebody that had already cased that house and understood that to be true? When that dog was possibly led into that vacant bedroom by the killer and the door shut, most people, if you're going to lead a dog like that, you do it by their collar. That is the reason when you take that dog and let somebody come pick it up, you no longer have that collar, which you could have gotten some DNA off of, possibly.
Yeah.
That's not driving me crazy. I love every single thing that you've just said. But guys, I want to clear something up about the Hoodie guy. In the last days, Moscow police state that they don't deny the guy has left the country. They say, quote, they are aware of the rumors. They did not deny or confirm them. And they also say the person in question continues cooperating. That's all we know. And remember, their duty is not to us on the outside. Their duty is to solve this case. Chris McDonough joining me from the interview room. Chris, is there anything else that stuck out in your mind other than the cinder block?
Well, Nancy, when I was walking around, out on the public street, and I was, just kind of taking it all in, I looked down by the trash cans out front, and there was a black glove. And it was partially covered by snow. Immediately, the red flags went up in my mind. It's like, okay, there's a glove here, and, I don't know who it belonged to, how it got there, how long it had been there, but it just another anomaly that just didn't look right. So I got hold of the officer who was sitting there at the scene and, asked him to come over, and I pointed it out to him, and he went, and his reaction was, wow. And I said, yeah, I'm a retired homicide guy. You probably want to, collect that. And he took some pictures of it and said, I'm going to tell our CSI folks. Well, come to find out, there is pictures of that glove within the first couple of days. You can see it behind the trash cans in the front. And this was a couple of weeks later that, I saw it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, how did this thing get here? Is the suspect, does this even belong to the suspect? Does it belong to a neighbor? Does it belong to one of the victims? I mean, we don't know. But I thought it was an anomaly that, just, again, did not look right.
Man, you're giving me a bad feeling, Chris McDonough, as if I didn't already have one with 4 dead bodies. Guys, the tip line, 208-883-7180. Repeat, 208.
Okay, she's done. I'm gonna try to take the banners and stuff down. That way you guys can see me again. But there was a couple things I did whenever like she goes over the time allowed it or whatever, like on the podcast, sometimes it'll what was I gonna say? So when it goes over, like it did here, it says like, you know, an hour negative an hour 52. If I pause it, it'll go back to the beginning. And I'm like, what? So that's why I didn't want to pause it. But the cinder block and the screen, they might not have known at this time because they might not have, we didn't have the body cam video of Kaylee that night or that day, that body cam video that came out of Kaylee with Kaylee in it. And it came out in August and it's of them. They're having like a party at the house and her and the guy walk out and they talk to the officer. Well, you can see right around her. When they walk in, the cops are like looking around and they're talking about how there's no stairs that come down from the balcony. And you can see the cinder block just sitting right there in the same exact spot. And the screen is down in the same exact spot. So that's been down. That was down from August until they're unaliving. So that we know it was down before then. So I guess they just didn't want to put that dang thing back up. My OCD would be killing me. Oh, maybe that's where the dog crate was. So see, yeah, if it was in her car, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like that she put the dog in there and then shut the door and walked into Maddie's room. I don't know. That's just me though. Because I know that she liked expensive things. That's what her parents said. And if you have expensive things, you know, you normally, if you're that young, you don't have a lot of them. So you want to make sure your dog doesn't chew them. And Murphy was 11 months old at the time. My dog is 10 years old and she will chew something if she wants to. She gets in the mood. Watch out. Shoes, anything. She hasn't done it in a long time, but she'll just chew something. She's like, okay, well, whatever. It's cool. They don't bark, Ladybug. They don't really bark that much. I could see it whining or whimpering for sure and it probably maybe did. I don't think it did that per se because of the noises that was going on in the house or the lack thereof, if there wasn't any. I think the dog was just wanting Kaylee to come back into the room. And maybe that's why the dog was heard whining, whimpering, and barking, like, you know, like, come back to me. You know, the little puppy ones that they do. So maybe that's what it was. But in her bedroom, we never saw a crate in there. So we just never saw it. Let's see here. Which window was it in front of? It was in the front of I think it was actually the kitchen window. Either Dylan's or the kitchen, but I'm thinking it was the kitchen. Yeah, Murphy was probably used to hearing noises too in that house. I should check my IQ. We didn't put our dogs actually in crates till they got older because those dogs, we let them run this place for a while. They still do. What am I talking about? Yeah, those dogs, they don't really bark, Kelly D. We have them in the area that we have them in we have them everywhere. Like everybody has either a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle. And they are the best dogs. Like I've been wanting one for probably 4 years now because every time I see them, actually it's been probably like, how long have I had these two fools? 6 years, 7 years? Because they're so good. Like my dogs will bark at these dogs and they'll just like look at my dogs like nothing. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what? You're not going to bark back? They never bark back. It says, no, that's not a stupid question. Boogie Green Street said, sorry if this is a dumb question, but the DoorDash driver showed up at 4. Say Koberger watched at that time. What if DoorDash left food outside, notified Santa? Could have, yeah. I think they did say that it was a drop off, not like an actual person to person like handoff, which I never. Well, okay, I lied. I'm gonna lie about that because sometimes we do have to go outside for our DoorDash because our door is sometimes a little funky. But yeah. Oh, and they said then Santa opened the door and Kohlberger chased her upstairs. I could have. I still think that he came in the front door. I'm stuck on that front door. I'm really stuck on it the whole time. I'm in it now. I'm in it. What's a Sherpa doodle? What the hell is that? Your best friend is a Sherpa. Are they just making up? Are they just making up dogs at this point? I've never heard of that. That's so cute. But it's so fluffy. Harlow, that's really cute. I want to get a small one. I want a mini golden doodle. Or like, yeah, I want a mini. They're so cute. That's me too, Otto. In my opinion, I think that was the only place for her to go to help fight. So she went towards the bed. You have a Labradoodle? She probably is Mountain Mommy. You look like you'd have a good dog. You do. You look like you'd have a really good dog. My dogs, on the other hand, are crazy. But I do have a cool cat back here that's making his head is underneath his paw. He's twisted. He's the love of my life. A Sheepa doodle. I've never heard of Sheepa doodle either. Man, I just never heard of them. They're making up so many new dog breeds. You know, they're like cross-breeding dogs now, and then they're making up new ones. Oh, I bet he's cute. How do I think? How do I think Kohlberger left the night sheep behind? I think that I think he had it all planned out down to like the second. But I think once it started happening, like the actual unalivings, it's a lot different when you're actually doing something like that compared to like just preparing yourself for it. And I think in the frenzy of all of it, he either dropped it, like when he took the knife out, he just sat on the bed like a dummy, or maybe one of the girls grabbed it at some point with their hand, you know, maybe it was Maddie, and that's how it got kind of under her. Maybe she just grabbed it not knowing and just like it just went under her leg. But I think that that's probably why he left it. And I think, in my humble opinion, I don't know if this is true or not, because this is just my opinion, but I think that maybe when Dylan interacted with Brian Kohlberger or whoever the suspect in the hallway, I think maybe he was actually going up back to the third floor, not out the back slider, because it says in the PCA that he was heading towards the slider, but doesn't say that he was like going out the slider. So I think he might have been going back up to the third floor to grab the knife sheath, and then he saw Dylan, and then that's when he decided to exit. So that's what I've been thinking since. I have a video out. I think I put it out like in January of last year, February, because I tried to get it out before, like, you know, that way you guys, I can give you my opinion. We'll have to go back. I'm going to have to go back and watch that video. Yeah, Kelly D. I think it all went to shit for him. You know, it's a little bit different when you're doing it, I think. Lillian Rice said, I'll tell you, one of the cutest dogs in the world is a Dutch Hound. I've had 3 already. I love them. Oh, they're really good dogs. My best friend had one. Every time we come up the driveway, it would come down barking. Her name was Lady. She'd be running down there barking just to greet us. Tim was lucky Brian didn't see her. She would have been the 5th victim. I think, yeah, and I think that maybe he didn't see her really. I do think that too. I think that he might have been watching for that step, because there's that step that goes down. I just can't get over that. I would have to be looking down for that step. Like, remember that step. Remember that step. And then I'd still probably trip over the step. That's what we did, Elisa. We finally crate trained them. Oh, it was horrible. This was their room, actually. This was the dog room at one point. We had like 2 huge dog kennels in here, like, because we live in an apartment. We're like, where are we going to put these things? But they're like extra large. We have big dogs. And then one of my dogs hated it so much, finally got rid of them. I was like, I couldn't take it. That was when I quit my job and I started my boutique. I couldn't handle locking them in the cages for 8 hours a day. I was like, why do we have dogs? Like, why? Like, they're miserable. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't mind being in the kennels, but the one dog didn't really like it, I don't think so. And I didn't like putting them in there like that long. Maybe if they were smaller, I don't know. I'm a dog mom. Hey, Robin. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good. Wow. I just said, Bo Dusky, the Husky, has now all-star dog. My dog talks. My Weimaraner, the gray one that's back here, sometimes she makes it sounds like she's screaming. I don't know if anyone has ever had a Weimaraner that's in the chat, but oh my Lord. It sounds like she's screaming. And it's so loud. I know people have to hear it. And it sounds like we're like beating the crap out of her or something. She's so loud and it's like this noise, like she's screaming, but she's just so freaking happy that we're home. Like even if we're gone for like 30 minutes, she does it for like a few minutes every time. It's really cute, but then it's like, don't do that because I don't want people to think we're beating you up here. Okay, so I think I think it opens inward. I think her door does. There was a 3D animation thing on here, but it hasn't been working right. The Kula thing, I'm really disappointed in them for not fixing this yet. Oh my God, did they fix it? No, they didn't fix it. Oh my God, they fixed it. Holy crap, guys. They fixed the site. This site, like the Kula site or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. So before you couldn't like do this, you couldn't enter, you couldn't like walk around and like move this, like you couldn't go into this bedroom and stuff. You could only go on by the pictures for like the last couple of months. Well, actually it's been like 6 months or something. And I would try to reach out to them and I know other people did. So that's amazing that they fixed it. But I think on here that someone said maybe the door was the wrong direction. That's Dylan's door right there. And this is from the kitchen view. This would have been, where am I at? Dylan's position, I guess. If you look here. Now it would have been at night. Yeah, you wouldn't have seen much. I love this site. I used to navigate it all the time. I think I did like I did what I thought happened in this case. And I used this site like to show you guys, exactly how I thought that they navigated through. But yeah, so that's like they have, I'll show you the whole page and then I'll drop this link in the StreamYard if you guys want to just like go over there and hang out and check it out. You know what I mean? Let me drop the membership link one more time, but I feel like everybody might be a member in our chat. And let me grab this for you guys. Where's it at? There it is. Because it really is a good resource. And actually, let me see if Sleuthy's timeline's on here. Because when she was on the channel, I meant to get it after she was off. And then I never did. I never got it. So if I don't see it on here, I'll get it from her. Looks like this is it. Yeah. So this is her. I think Sleuthy put this together. I wanted to go through this with you guys, so maybe we'll do that on our next live. It's just the timeline, and it's like really, 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 really detailed. But it gives you like the resources, and it gives you like all of that stuff. I already put it in the chat and put it again. Like that in the chat, and then it'll show you like detailed visual timeline. We looked over that. We've looked over this whole page before on a live before. And then you see the front of the house. You can go to the area like the drone view. And watch like this video or these little pictures, which just would have been nice to have earlier when we were watching our video. But yeah, it's a really cool little site. If you like, because we didn't know it. We didn't know anything about the house or the inside of it for the longest time. What happened, Dreamcatcher? They pull more teeth. Oh, one of your dog sees is so tough. Oh. Have all of her teeth pulled. Oh, poor baby. That sounds like me with the teeth problems. But you know what? It felt really good today. I ate with both sides of my mouth. It felt really good. I know that's like simple and people, I don't know. I take that for granted, I guess. Let me see. Dylan's room doesn't look auto. I've said that. I'm gonna put that picture back up. Her bedroom looks like a storage closet. It looks like where you put your broom and your vacuum. To me, in my opinion, I thought that this whole time. Like, I know that there's a closet right here, but to me, this just looks like a closet door. It doesn't look like a bedroom. I was very surprised that there was a bedroom there. I was very surprised. Under the stairs, yeah. It's kind of hidden. Do you think that Bethany liked being all the way in the basement? Would you guys like being in the basement? I don't know. Maybe it was cozy down there. Wonder how she liked that. Because that's like away from everybody. That might be good. She probably had the best spot in the house. Oh, I know, Kelly D. I have all my paperwork. I'm trying to be really careful. The only bad thing I'm doing is vaping. I know that's bad, but I have to. You don't think he saw Dylan? Otherwise, she would have been right there. Yeah. Because he didn't give a fuck. Yeah, I mean, like right there. There she is. Well, I mean, really, what would it be to just to stab someone a couple more times? If you think about it, she's right there at the door. Maybe he was exhausted. I mean, 4 people. And then Ethan. And for some reason, I'm thinking Ethan might have been, I don't know. I don't know if Xana or Ethan were last, but I'm thinking maybe more like Ethan might have been last. Well, there's Parker. Hello, Parker. Welcome on in. Became a member. Look at that. It's good to see you. It's been a while. I'm reading your guys' chats about the dogs. I think that's cute. Let me see what I missed. I wonder if Vincent's out there sleeping. Oh, Jan has a great nephew with 2 different color eyes. That's pretty. My mom, speaking of husky dogs, when I lost my eye, my mom was at the hospital and she said, and my brother was there, and we use humor in everything. So that's why, like, when you hear me say, like, be like humorous when we're talking about serious cases, it's because it's just that's just how I am. That's just how my family is. That's how we deal with like trauma. But my mom was like, give her one of mine. Like, you know, my mom had the beautiful blue eyes, like the sky blue. I wish I would have had her blue eyes. But my brother was like, she'll look like a dang husky, Mom. And like my mom said that was the one thing that made her like really, really laugh, like during that whole painful time. You know, like my brother cracked a joke, like, she'll look like a dang husky, Mom. That would have been cool though. Yeah, so she definitely saw the front, Boogie. Yeah, she saw the front of him. So she saw the eyebrows, the face, and he was wearing, it said, a face mask, which covered the nose and mouth. So what I'm assuming is it was like a face mask that we wore back in COVID 2020, you know, not a ski mask or not half mask with the, you know, the eye part out. I think it was just a mask. Probably like, here, I got this mask. I'm gonna wear this too. I'm gonna let my cat out really quick. He's staring at the door. Hold on one second. Okay. You think maybe ambushed them? Hey, Jetta from Texas. I haven't said it like that. It's from Texas. I even put a little Twain in there. Yeah, I heard that from Xana's dad, we heard that she did fight, that she fought back. And all of the wounds are listed differently on the medical report, except for Kaylee and Maddie's. I know. It's been a while since we've seen you, Parker. It's good to see you. Look at this. Looks like old times. Where'd Miss Linda go? She fall asleep on us? I think, but see, Boogie, okay, so the thing is, so there's a stair. Let me show you the step. The step is wild, guys. Where are we at? We're in the living room. Okay, you see the step right here? I wonder if I, no, went too far. Okay, I need to go back here. Stand here, okay. So this right here is a step. Oh, it's a 4-inch step down. I didn't even know that. They have an actual measurement? 4-inch. Okay. I'm gonna start measuring stuff. I need something 4 inches. Let's see. What about this pen? I have a measuring tape on my phone. Okay, that's 6 inches. So let's measure it again. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this would be about 4 inches. So if you're stepping, I mean, I guess it's not too big of a step, but it's still a step down, y'all. I don't know. I think I would trip. Oh, like a light switch over here? Do you think he would have turned the light on though? Dreamcatcher, you sound like me. That's me too. I'm always laughing. Even if it's a negative situation, I'm laughing. I'm trying to laugh. I really do. It's without transition from old to new. Yeah. Could definitely be. Yeah. It's just so crazy. I definitely, I would trip over it. I'm surprised he didn't trip coming up it and face plant. I mean, really. Oh yeah, no, I turned him off earlier. Yeah. I turned him off earlier, Jetta. On the picture when we were in here. You can actually turn them right here. So you're in night view. Oh yeah, you ain't seeing nothing. But the sign would have been on. Where's the sign? Oh, it's because we have to turn around. We're looking down. That was the stairs. So here's where we would be. There's the good vibe. Good vibe sign. This is the hallway. If that door was open, no. I don't think he would have saw her. Now, I do think if she had her cell phone in her hand, and a lot of people get up and they have their phone in their hand. Like every time I get up, I feel like not every time because I don't really get on my phone, but if I leave a room or something, I'll like grab my phone and take it with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering if she had her phone in her hand and it was lit up though. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's what that's what I thought too. I think that she didn't know exactly how tall Brian Koberger where it was because of the step difference. Yeah, I think he was going by the neon lights. I think he was too. Yeah, I think he was just trying. And there is a light in this hallway right here, so I think that one was on, and it gave him a little bit of light through there and then through here. Now, if he was going to cut down the steps, all you'd have to do is just go around there and go right out the door. But obviously, he went this way for a reason. Probably maybe to go out the door or go up to the third floor, grab the knife sheath. I don't know. Yeah, no use in the light there and cry. Exactly, Dreamcatcher. I know my nurse is just like, why are you so positive every time we come in? And I'm like, I am. Yeah, the adrenaline and tunnel vision. Yeah, he's probably just ready to get out of there. Yeah. This is why they think the house. This is why I think that the house at least once before he did this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was a party. Maybe it was something. I mean, I think he could have got the damn Wi-Fi password, like I said, with one of them little Wi-Fi signs that people have. Welcome to our home. Here's our Wi-Fi password. Yeah, Marianne, I think he's just trying to get out. Aw, your dog's sitting. That's sweet. Yeah, but I don't think he would really. I don't know if he would really invest in night vision goggles, though. That'd be kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Night vision. I mean, are they easily to get? Plus, if they had night vision goggles on, she might not have seen the eyebrows. See, that's what I thought. Maybe she like just kind of had her phone maybe in her hand. Like my watch even has a flashlight on it now. It's brighter than crap. Look at this thing. If I can turn it on. Well, that's not dark in here, but it's pretty bright. Like it's super bright. Okay, can't see it because I don't have it in the camera. Where am I at? Maybe if I turn it this way. But yeah, you can see it's like super bright. It comes in handy when I lose everything because I lose everything. I would love to hear the 911 call too. I would love to know about the 8-hour time gap and the 911 call. Yeah, she would have seen it probably. They still have Kaylee, a lot of Kaylee's things, Marianne. They still have her actual physical phone too. I think her physical phone might have something on it, like not inside the phone, but on the phone, like DNA. That's what I'm thinking. Because for them to keep her physical phone and not give it back, like they're just giving them some of the data out of it. That's weird to me. But I'm thinking there's something on top of it, like on the actual or in the case, maybe. And I don't know, but you know. I think they found something on it. Maybe not in it, but on it. But I mean, maybe in it too. You never know. You really don't. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. I mean, these kids were beautiful, gorgeous. You could tell they were amazing kids. You could tell they were very, very nice, very sweet. You know, they didn't look like the type that would start trouble. You know what I mean? Like, they really did it. They just were college kids. It's extremely sad. Yeah, I don't know if she did text them or not. We've heard that she has and we haven't. You know, and we don't know. Oh, yeah, my doors are locked, Cheryl. Always. So I asked about the network intrusion of Vincent, and he gave me a really good explanation. Of course, I'm going to botch it. I was like, can you come on the live and just explain this? Hello. But he was saying that it could be anywhere from like trying to get into the Wi-Fi, slow the Wi-Fi down, hack the computer, things of that nature. But I couldn't think of the actual word, so I told him that I knew it was intrusion. And there goes the Nightbot again. Sorry, Nightbot is coming through hot. I didn't realize that the timers are all set to the same, so sorry about that, guys. Her wallet too? Wow. Wow. Well, we did hear from Nancy, if this is true, about him putting up the security cameras in the girl's apartment and then he was spying on her. Now, if that's true, I would be more inclined to think, oh, then definitely he was trying to get into Kaylee's stuff. Because it has her name on the document too. It doesn't say Maddie, Xana, Ethan, it says Kaylee. I always lock my doors. I'm a freak about locking my doors. Oh yeah. I don't know why. I mean, like, I live in a building that's locked, but no. I always do. We have a Ring doorbell camera too, and actually 2 other cameras in the house. Oh, we still should do that giveaway. We should give away that other camera. I forgot about that. Let me write that down. I don't use it, and I think that'd be like a cool thing to do. Maybe we'll do that either on this channel or we'll do it on like the second channel. Maybe that'd be like an incentive. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my second channel, make sure you do. I think I'm going to go live over there tomorrow. I want to do like my first live. I'm thinking of a couple different things, but I have a couple really good ideas. And I'll put the link in there if you guys want to join us tomorrow. You still think Kaylee was Jen? Maybe, yeah. I think that would be fun. Chase, I think it'd be fun. Because, I mean, like, you know, I haven't thought about doing like a giveaway on my old microphone. But then I'm like, do I want to keep it as like a, you know, for memories? But do I really need to keep it for memories? Do I? Thanks, Stephanie. She said I'm subscribed. Because I have this white, this is the microphone that everybody gets when they start YouTube. If you're starting a YouTube channel, you're going to end up with a blue Yeti. I guarantee you. This is like the one that everyone uses. Mine has a little dent though in it because I dropped it on the floor like a day after I got it. Still works just fine, but I don't know. I got this one. Vincent got me this one like right after. So we got this stuff so fast. We jumped. Like, I think I used this for just like a couple months and then my webcam for a couple months. Oh, really, PKC? I'm going to have to look into that. The intrusion stuff. Oh, he did say that he could be dropping like some sort of devices in the house too to monitor them. And they would be like as small as a pinhole, like they wouldn't even know they were there. Yeah, he didn't even know she was going to be there. Yeah, I like to have doors locked. This one isn't sure. This one's Logi. This one's a Logi mic. It's really, I like it. It's really nice. Yeah, he still is though, Vine Crime. He's still in solitary confinement. He's going to be there for, I mean, he's going to be in protective custody for a while. Now, I don't think that I don't know. You have to have interaction. He's been in there for a long time too. Yeah, I'm glad you pulled through that too, Dreamcatcher. No, I don't think he was planning on it because he was still planning on getting his PhD over in Washington State. So I think he was doing that, but so I don't know if he was really going after Kaylee. I don't know though. No, actually, but I'll look tomorrow. I need to sit down and look at all my emails. It's so bad. It's so bad. I think this summer they might have the trial. Yeah, it is violent crime. Definitely two different environments. Two different. I 100% agree. They're also not carrying Brian Koberger into court like they are, RA. Richard Allen. Oh, so Sarah Boone. Oh my gosh, I do have an update. Sarah Boone, there is an update. She's went through, I think like they said this was like her 14th time or something crazy. It was a crazy number that they postponed her trial. So they did have an update on her. Let me see if I can find it. I watched it the other day and I can't remember. I think she's getting a new lawyer. She's due back in court. She's something else. You know what I mean? She really is. Okay. This is the one that I watched a day ago. We'll watch this. If you guys, since we're switching topics for just a second, we'll watch this really quick before I get off here. Because Sarah Boone, man, drinking this picket water and waking up I woke up earlier, but I didn't come downstairs till 12:30. If you enjoyed the Carly Russell case, you'll enjoy the Sarah Boone case because they're both they're both crazy. So Sarah Boone, 42 years old from Florida, her and her boyfriend Jorge are one night they're drinking, they're coloring, they're painting, they're having the time of their life. Then they decide they're going to play hide and go seek, and Sarah convinces Jorge to get into the suitcase. There's a suitcase. Get into the suitcase. We're playing hide and go seek. They're both hiding him though. So you know the game of hide and seek, one hides, one counts, right? Okay, but they're both hiding him. So that didn't really check out. Then old Sarah goes to bed but she leaves him in the suitcase and she records it before going to bed. She says things and you'll see the video in this video. It's very disturbing. You'll hear him saying, Sarah, I can't breathe. And she'll be saying things like, well, that's my name. Don't wear it out. That's how I felt when you were effing choking me, things of that nature. Because they did have a DV relationship. There was DV in the relationship, but you never just zip someone up in a suitcase and go to bed. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys that, but her recording is bizarre. And the stuff that she did the next morning, I know she was hungover, but drinking out of a spigot. And her ex-husband was just trying to get her some water. He just wanted her to shut up about the water. He's like, can I go to the store? So we'll watch this really quick. 9 minutes.
The problem is I fell asleep.
Because we are covering this case. And I do have a playlist over this if you guys want to watch it.
Before you called.
Yes.
It's 1 o'clock right now.
That's amazing, Dreamcatcher. But
I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs and I was like, oh, he's in the suitcase still.
That's Sarah Boone. We've been tracking this case for quite some time. That's the moment with the officer who responds where she's talking about her boyfriend, George Torres, who was locked in a suitcase all night long. These two had a bit of a toxic relationship as well. And he ended up dying inside of a suitcase. Now, she called 911 originally saying they were playing hide and seek. It's not clear what was going on. She told a couple different stories. But then investigators took a look at her cell phone. And on her cell phone is her speaking to and taunting George while she's recording it all.
Just a word of advice. Take every device that you have that's electronic and throw it away if you're going to commit a crime. You know what I mean? Like Google searches are the best. I love the Google searches. I love them. Everybody does it. Everybody Googles something. Like, come on, guys.
It's
Be
bizarre. He's
smarter.
inside a suitcase begging for his life. I'm going to show you that video. And it's difficult to look at, but it's the most important evidence in the case because it shows what was happening at the moment he is begging her to just let him out, that he can't breathe. So we're going to take a look at it right now. I've given you the warning. If you don't want to hear it, you can turn down the volume. If you don't want to see it, it's about 2 minutes worth of video. Let's take a look.
Sarah. For everything you've done to me. Sarah. For everything you've done to me. Sarah. You. Sarah. You. Sarah. Stupid.
So Kelly, people were saying that she tosses him down the stairs because like the way that it is like the suit. So you can see the suitcase here. The suitcase handle, that's the back. So he's laying on the zipper. Like there's no way for him to even get himself out because he's compressed against the floor. You know what I mean? Like he's pushing against the floor. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like, so she may have done that. I've heard that she tossed him down the stairs. Now that I don't know. Because I don't know why the suitcase would just be out then again, you know what I mean? But I can totally see how this happened, like how this transpired. I could totally see a suitcase just sitting there and her saying, I wonder if we could fit in that. I wonder if I could fit in that. I'm thinking she said something like that. She got in it first, was like, oh, let me try. She got in it. He zipped her up a little bit. You know, they laughed. It was fun. Then she's like, you try. Once he was in the suitcase, I think once she zipped it and realized, oh, he's in there and like, I can do what I want now. That's when it all went to hell in a handbasket. And that's when she started recording it. I don't know why she would record it. Did she want to show it to him the next day? I mean, what was she going to do? Like, what did she expect to happen after this? Like, she was going to have this recording on her phone. Jorge's just going to be sleeping in the suitcase the next morning and she's going to show it to him and they're going to laugh. I don't think he's going to be laughing at that if he was alive the next day. Unfortunately, he wasn't.
That's my name. Don't worry.
I wonder how long it took for him to succumb to this.
I can't breathe, babe. Seriously. Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me. Sarah.
You can see the suitcase moving. Oh my God, I never noticed that before. Did you guys see that?
Sarah.
He's trying. Oh my God, he's trying. That's so sad. They should, Catherine. Yeah.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
She actually said hard to see. Yep. Wait till she says it. Wait till she says her. Don't say her name. That's my name.
Sarah.
Don't wear it out or whatever. I hate when she says that.
Reel or ransom. Might want to get video for it extra.
She's definitely wasted.
Because I got this. Sarah. Reel or ransom. Sarah.
You can see it moving.
I can't breathe, babe. Oh.
It makes me not feel like I feel like I can't breathe watching it.
That's what I feel like when you chewing on me. Sarah.
We only played it once, Ladybug, on my channel.
Yeah.
Just because it's traumatic.
You should probably shut the up.
Yeah, Boogie, they will. But what do you explain after you leave them there? That's what they're going to do. So that's exactly what they're going to do, Boogie. So they're going to say like she didn't mean to like unalive him, but there's a law that if somebody is in trouble and you know that they're in trouble, like that you have to help them. It's like some sort of law, like not like if it's some stranger down the road that's having like a problem, but it's like someone like in your household or like in your general area, you have to do something about it. Man, if she walked out of here though, that would be something. I don't think she's walking out anytime soon. She can't even keep a lawyer.
Once investigators found that video, the whole nature of the case changed. Now, pretrial hearing coming up on January 16th. The trial once again scheduled for
Couldn't imagine being her
January
bunkie.
26th. Take a look at this video. This is the last time that she was in court when she was approved to get her 7th attorney, which led to their trial getting postponed for the 13th time. The first 12 postponements took place from July 27th of 2020 to July of 2023. 12 times it's postponed over the course of 3 years.
12 times. Sorry, I thought it was 14. It's 12.
And you talk about, and it's all happening because she keeps getting new attorneys. These attorneys are finding it impossible to work with her. So let's bring back in our think tank, Ekla Mercy, Kirk Nurmi, and Nima Rahmani. So here we are. Let me ask you about the trial, if this thing ever happens. How important is the fact, and these are all the postponements and cancellations that we've had, how important is it, Nima, when you talk about how he got inside of that suitcase? I can't imagine, I mean, he had to voluntarily get in there, I would think. I don't think he could zip himself in there, but
You can't get in
how
there.
important is that fact, and will
I have Vincent has a huge suitcase. We went on vacation. We go every September. When we came home, this suitcase is like one of those, like the big old black Swiss Army ones that like a lot of people have, like the wheeled ones, just like this. But I think it was actually bigger than that suitcase. Me and Jorge are about the same size. I think he's like 140, 5'7", 5'8" or something. He was small. He was a small guy. I'm like 135, 140, 5'8". I tried to get into the suitcase. I was like, Vincent, I'm gonna try to get in. I tried to get him in, and he wasn't playing the game. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get in. I could not get in. I am extremely flexible, like I mean to a fault. I'm extremely flexible, and I could not get in the suitcase. So I don't know how she got him in there. Like I don't know how she squeezed him in. Like, you can just get down just a little further. Like, you're almost there. I don't know.
it play a role in all of this?
But I couldn't get in it. I couldn't fit.
Well, Vinny, it's an interesting legal argument, but it's not going to carry the day.
Might
It's
have
not
to
a
do
civil
another
case, right?
experiment
So it's a
so I can show you
criminal
guys.
case. And the question is, did Boone have a duty to act? Well, she zipped him up. So once you put someone in danger, that puts the duty on you to save the person from danger. So, I'm sure the appellate lawyers will love it. But this is really an indefensible case. Criminal defendants lie all the time, but video doesn't lie. So Sarah Boone is going to be convicted. And I think the lesson of the show is, poor Jorge Torres to be in a relationship with someone like this. Christian Obenselli, same thing, toxic relationship. And they say, Tucker, maybe he turned his life around by ending up with the right person. But I don't see how any attorney can defend this case. I thought Boone would be the next pro se defendant here on Court TV, but apparently she found some poor lawyer that's going to take this case and throw up a Hail Mary, and we'll see if there's any chance of her maybe picking up one or two jurors here.
And we've also heard, Eklund, through the years now, that one of the potential defenses might be that she's a battered woman, that it's going to be, the relationship is very volatile, it's very toxic. She's been beaten by him, she's been strangled by him, and this is what the result was.
Yeah,
Give you the right
she
to
can't use
zip
that.
them
I
up.
think the video is damning, and all I would have to do is just play that video. And by the third Sarah, in which the victim is calling your name, you lose any defenses. He is constantly calling for help. He is advocating for his help, and you denied it. So the issue is, I've actually represented clients like that. The problem is that you have a defendant who the only thing that she's waiting for you to say is how to get out of prison. That's it. You have to make, she is just waiting for an answer to get out. So any attorney who cannot tell her how to get out, she is going to fire. So I think that the judge at this point needs to make a judgment call on how many more postponements, because she's going to do this until the end of time.
I have a question for old Sarah Boone. Why does she feel so damn entitled? Do you know what I mean? Like, really, why does she feel so entitled? 7, 8 lawyers. No, Good night, Jan. Listen to me, I'm over here yelling about Sarah, and I'm like, good night, Jan. I'm gonna go to bed soon too, I think. But yeah, like crazy.
Kirk Nurmi,
like,
you know something about representing difficult
I wonder how many
clients.
hours she's asking for.
What are
from
your
her
thoughts
attorney.
here?
I'm stunned that she's been allowed to go through
See you
so many
tomorrow,
lawyers.
Jaden.
I think lawyer number 6, we heard
Your
that
husband,
clip.
good
You're
night.
talking about her demeaning response to him. She couldn't keep going with the representation. If that's the standard, everybody could just yell at their public defender and they get a new attorney and they never get convicted. Ultimately, the judge needs to draw the line here. Eklund's right in terms of this case. I think about it. You know, if I was going in there talking to Sarah, I'd say, listen, the evidence is all on this tape. It's all in this 2 minutes. You're gonna get convicted. The jury is gonna loathe you. You can certainly go up on the stand and say, hey, I was a victim of all this domestic abuse. They're not gonna believe you because they saw you laughing and taking delight in this man's death. They are gonna be tone deaf to whatever you're saying, and you're gonna be convicted in an hour or less, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. Each and every attorney she's had has probably told her some version of that story, and then she starts yelling and acting demeaning.
See, Kirk is riled up. He knows how these people are.
Well, that's Sarah. Did they say when she was going to court next? My mind went like in the gutter. I was just thinking of her drinking out the spigot. Man, she's never going to go to court. She just keeps doing this because, I mean, it's given her, I don't know what, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't negate, I can't even say the word. The fact that she's on trial for murder. You know what I mean? Like murder. She zipped him up in a suitcase. Then went to bed. And then woke up around 11 and then didn't come down till 12:30. Crazy. Well, thank you for liking the video, everybody. We have 100, what was it? Look at that, 115 likes. Can't beat that. I mean, we can only beat it if we had more. Oh, thanks, Doodlebug, for staying awake for me. You guys are so crazy for doing that, but I love it. No, I love that you guys stay awake for me. I know Miss Jan was probably getting tired because it's that time. I mean, it's been a late night. 126. Okay, I thought that sounds right. I think I have it wrote down on a Post-it note. Dang, I got too many Post-it notes. Let me see. I was going to read your let me see here. I was just going to read the chat, see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, the baby oil. Yeah, it really works. Actually, Lisa, I found something even better, but it's a store product, but it's Survive. That stuff takes your eye makeup off so good. But yeah, if you use baby oil, it'll take your eye makeup off. That's what my mom taught me. I always still do stuff I still do old school stuff that my mom taught me. I have some makeup videos on my channel and some personal videos too. Oh, Dreamcatcher, thank you. Said this is the best channel on YouTube. I appreciate that so much. I put a lot of work into it. I really do. I really, really do. And if I'm not working in here, I'm thinking of working in here. What do I need to do? But oh, thanks, Boogie. You're nice too. I try to be. We have a really good chat too. Very, very kind. Y'all are so kind. Really, y'all. Because it's YouTube. I can count the amount of trolly kind of people that come in, that are really bad. I can count maybe 3 or 4 since September. Craziness. It's just, I love how it's relaxed and it's chilled and it's cool and everyone likes each other. And I love that. Because you got to have that. You got to have a good foundation, and you guys are literally you're my channel. You're the channel. You guys don't come. I don't have a channel. You know what I mean? I'll just be sitting here talking to myself again, like I used to in my lives. I used to have 0 people, we all come from, we all have to come from something. I don't even know if Vincent was in the chats when I started. Maybe he was. He might have been in there helping me get that one person, but Ms. Linda was there if she's listening and still. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We will we're going to keep doing this series. Nancy was there the whole dang time she's covered this whole case. And as we go along, we'll even cover the documentaries that she did. That Bloodline episode was really good. I like to go back and watch that again. I know I miss things sometimes when we're watching videos because we're in the chat or, we're just doing something. So in the chat and stuff. And we like miss things. So when we go back and we listen to it again, we pick up things that we haven't heard before. And I haven't been in any conspiracy type channels, so I don't know anything that's going on, which is good for my brain, So hopefully then I can give you guys all the facts. Because if I hear something, I'll retain it and I'll think it might be factual, Well, thanks, Dreamcatcher. I appreciate that. I really try to be genuinely nice to you guys. I love you guys. I really do. I care about you and I care about the channel. This is like, I get to like hang out with you guys every night. Like, come on now. Shoot. That's like so much fun. So much fun. But thanks for coming. I will see you guys all tomorrow night. I'm trying to get back to that 8:15 time slot. I really am. But since we're redoing this house, it's been a lot. And Vincent's painting different colors now because, I had gotten an idea. I'm like, what if we do paneling walls? He's like, what is that? So here we are. But hopefully I'll get my TitaniumBuilt, my neon sign back up. I'm really missing it. I really miss it being behind me. I don't really like that lamp. Oh, and you can see my gnomes for Valentine's Day. But thank you guys all for joining me tonight. We will, so we'll keep continuing this series. And then, of course, we're following Idaho 4. We're covering so many cases on the channel. Long Island, Richard Allen in the Delphi case. There's so many. Corey Richens. If there's any cases that you want me to cover, just let me know. And I'll try to cover. Always try to cover, cases for you guys. We covered the Savannah Soto case, Crystal Rogers. There's a lot. Chelsea Grimm. And I do want to do not my last. It's not my last video on Chelsea Grimm, but the one that I was planning on doing with you guys, and that's still in my studio. I scheduled that December 30th, it says, and we still haven't done that. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. So I'm going to go live on my other channel tomorrow, and I might do it on, I want to do it on something different. So I thought about doing it on either like doxing, like what it means when you dox somebody, or I thought about doing it on like even just the channels and like what you guys think, like the subscribers. Like I thought about doing it all about you guys because you guys see what goes on YouTube. And I just want to maybe have questions about like what's going on, like why is this person fighting with this person 1 minute, now they're friends? I don't want drama, but I just want to give everyone clarity, on the YouTube stuff. So I'm going to do something fun like that. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do something different, more lighthearted, more like laid back. And then maybe I can even do it where, once we get more subscribers and stuff on the channel, maybe somebody will want to come on panel and want to talk about it as well. And you guys can come up and talk about it too. Like subscribers, I mean, you guys see things, you guys have questions, I'm sure, about people, places, things, and hopefully I can help you out. But it'll be fun. Let me drop my second channel link one more time. That way, if you want to go over there and subscribe. We're small, but we're growing. I'm not sure what time. I'm thinking about doing it during the day. Maybe when Vincent's like painting or something, I only get him for 2 days out of the week. So when I could get him to do something, I'm on it. But I'm going to try to come on like during the day and do it. So it'll be fun. But I'll have it scheduled, and just make sure you have the bell notification alerted. If you're on a cell phone, make sure your YouTube alerts are on as well. That way you'll get alerted to the live. But I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye guys. Have a good night.